Hi there, my name is Ryan and I am a homeowner, and I wanted to share a little project that I've been working on for the past couple months, working on my basement. I bought this house 2 years ago, and it comes with a partially dug out basement with a concrete footing wall. It's about 24 by 36 feet in dimensions, and the dugout portion here encompasses the center of the footprint of the house. Now, the problem with this original wall was that it's a retaining wall that was made out of galvanized sheet metal, and even though it's galvanized, it is still susceptible to corrosion. And there was a number of spots on this wall that were rusting out pretty badly, and the sand and the natural tills and the loamy soils spilling into the basement, the dugout basement portion. So I had a bit of a dilemma, and I wanted to work on finding a permanent solution to replace that. Structurally, the retaining wall is fine. It has really good drill steel into the ground. And then the guy had poured a cement floor as well. So structurally and I guess even somewhat aesthetically, it was fine. It's just over the long term, if I want to preserve this as my home, I needed to work on the retaining wall to keep out any further damage. So I decided to pour concrete, and what I've done here is, this is the form that I've built. It's about 5 inches wide and 4 feet high off the existing cement floor. I spent the winter building all this formwork, just using 1x6s, basically strapped together with a 2x4 frame. A bit of a challenge in a number of spots. I have a forced air furnace here, and I have a circ pump in the back that I had to use a sheet of plywood to get around. So a pretty tight working space to build these forms, but they're all braced up now. I'm just using, again, 2x4s strapped into the floor with a 2x6 and double-headed nailed into the cement floor, which is more than adequate to support the pressure of the cement when I pour it in a couple of days. A lot of extra bracing as well, just in case. I've probably over braced this in a number of spots, just out of the anxiety of possibly having a catastrophe when the very heavy and very wet cement is put into the forms. A little bit about the cement. I was hoping to be able to pump in the concrete, but that just wasn't possible for a number of reasons with the contractor, so I've been forced to build a chute. Now, it's a bit dark, but this chute will be going in through a window that's right now boarded up, and it has a kind of a Sintra PVC plastic. It's an old sign cut up and put into the base of the chute to make it the cement slide better down that grade. It's a pretty shallow grade, about 15%. So hopefully it flows okay. And of course, it's not going to flow all the way around the perimeter by itself. We're going to try to fill in as much as we can on this one corner, and then adjust the chute. Put in another little attachment to the chute, which will extend it over top of this corner. And then I've built a bin to receive the rest of the concrete, and we'll just have to bucket brigade it into all the other sections of the wall that don't get filled. I've ordered some plasticizer, Super P, which is a basically it just keeps it flowing. It's a chemical additive that allows the plasticity of the concrete to last longer, and then and we can also up the moisture content as well of the water to make the concrete flow a little bit better too. So that's my little project for this summer. And when the cement gets pouring, I'll update on how it went. Alright, the pour is done and the concrete is now dry after just a couple hours. I'm recording this the day after. So I've already taken off some of the bracing that went across the top whaler. One of the issues we had was learning that we did not have enough bracing, especially in the center whaling, the center whaler right here. So what we could have used is a lot more of these type of braces that go directly to the floor at an angle from the center whaler. What happened behind the furnace, because I couldn't get one in there, we had quite a bit of bulging, and we had to do some very temporary bracing just to keep it from blowing out. Another thing I learned was that this ended up being a very useless brace. From the main brace that goes from the top and the bottom whaler into the floor, I put this little horizontal brace across and had it touching the 1x6s here, and it wasn't actually nailed into the whaler here, so it actually didn't provide any kind of structural bracing support, and just ended up keeping this board in place while the rest of them pushed out. As you can see here, the rest of this wall tried to push out. So that wasn't very effective. What I really needed to do was put more of these around. There's a couple other spots where this happened as well. Behind the water tank, again, another really difficult spot. But I could have put a brace perhaps here. I could have had another one of those braces down through here perhaps, and then again over on this wall where there's a pretty significant bulge that came off, because again I didn't have an angle brace coming down through here. I just had one of these. So that's a bit of a learning experience for me, having been doing this just as an amateur project. The concrete pour worked really well. We had the chute coming through here, and we were able to push most of the concrete along just using 2x2s, just pushing it along, and we were actually able to get it to flow pretty much all the way around to that back corner, so the exact opposite corner, and even into behind the furnace. It was difficult to get it flowing past this post because of there's only about maybe an inch or so clearance between the old wall and the post, so it didn't really flow very good past there. Most of the flow was heading this direction from the chute. And after that we just had a bit of a bucket brigade going to fill in all the other spots, and then a little bit of finishing with trowels just to get it as smooth as I could at the time. With the other braces in the way, it was kind of hard to get in there. So lesson learned about the bracing: just make sure that you have all the bracing as much as you can, every spot wherever there might be issues with the whalers backing out. Another thing to be mindful of is just having enough bodies to help you with the work. We had maybe 4 or 5 guys at the start trying to push the concrete along the wall, and you need to have guys probably every couple feet just to keep it pushing along, and we did not have enough bodies at first, and then once we had about 6 people came in, we were able to get a lot more movement going, and then that really helped with the bucket brigading as well, to have a lot more bodies, people handing the full ones down, someone handing the empty ones back to the chute. So just make sure that you're prepared to have all the help, all your family, all your friends, bring them down, feed them pizza, feed them beers, and make them come, make them happy.